Pressure is constantly growing on motorists to ditch their petrol and diesel powered vehicles and switch to pure electric cars. We get under the skin of the E-tron and find out what it's like to drive, check out the type of space you get,
It is surprisingly comfy.
and achieve a very surprising 0 to 60.
That's quicker than I thought. This is the Audi e-tron 55 Quattro. Starts at £71,000. I know, but this is a press car. It's got a few options on it, which we'll talk about, and this actually rings in at £81,000. It's got a £1,350 option with the LED matrix headlights and dynamic indicators. This grille I want to talk about, is it open, is it closed? Is it someone looking through Venetian blinds? Hello, it's me. Just leave the grille all open. It will look so much better and add another dynamic to the car. Around the side, we have these gorgeous 21-inch wheels, 15 spoke, £950 as an option. I like those. And then we have what is called a high gloss pack. We have Manhattan Grey here against the Floret Silver. Now the Floret Silver is actually a £750 option, or you could go for Brilliant Black, which is £0, which I would go for the black because it does get rid of these kind of things. It's all a bit flush. There's too many colours going. Got Manhattan Grey, this black plastic trim, and the silver. It makes the car very busy and you lose that sleekness. I would have gone for Brilliant Black. Not a big fan of the Floret Silver, but I want to know about what you think about these Manhattan Grey trim. Now, if you do go for the S-Line and above, you get colour coded, so it kind of gets rid of that option. Now, there are 5 trims: the Technique, the Sport, the S-Line, the Black Edition, and the Vorsprung. But this angle is the best. You've got this gorgeous light bar running across, big and bulbous, protruding outwards, and the little spoiler lip there. But this is my absolute fave thing about the car. The space. Audi say 660 litres of boot space. Put those rear seats down and you have 1,725 litres of boot space. That is bigger than the Mercedes EQC. That is bigger than the Jaguar I-Pace. It is so big and colossal, I could take this thing camping, and you know what? I reckon I could get my airbed in there.
A few moments later.
I knew it! You can fit a blow-up airbed in the back of an Audi e-tron. And you know what? It is surprisingly comfy too. What are you going to take camping? A tent or an Audi e-tron? I know what I'd have. You let me know in the comments what you would have. Right, I'm going to get 40 winks on this thing. I said winks, and then let's go for a drive. I'm in the e-tron now. I've had this over a week, and I have to be honest with you, in pictures and videos, before I saw the car in the flesh, it doesn't do it justice. It's a lot bigger up close, and you know what? Over this week, it's grown on me so much. I've really enjoyed the experience with it. So let's talk about the demographic. What type of people would use this car? It's a big car. It's got loads of space. It would suit mums and dads on the school run, nip in there, nip in back, go into work, not too far away, and then as soon as they get home, just jamming it into the wall box to top up the range that they've used that day, because range is a big talking point. Now, on Audi's website, in the frequently asked questions, they say that the e-tron is 234 miles for the 55. And on the spec sheet they gave me, it ranges from the different trim levels, from about 234 on the Technic to 257 on the Vorsprung, the high-end model. But cold weather plays a huge part of the battery. Now, I firsthand have charged this car since having it over this week 100%. And when I charged it to 100%, I got 188 miles on my dash. Statistics have shown that the optimum temperature to get maximum range that the manufacturers state, and even more, is 21.5 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That is when you will get that range. And then at the opposite end of the spectrum, minus 15 degrees, they have shown a loss of up to 54% of range from the battery. So it just goes to show how important temperature really is with electric vehicles. Okay, so we're going to do a launch, 0 to 60 miles per hour time challenge, see what we get. Audi say that this does 0 to 62 in 6.6 seconds, but with boost mode on, it can get under 6 seconds. Now, for context, we've got 78% battery left. I've got it in dynamic mode, the most sportiest setting. I'm going to drop this back into sport mode, so it's got S, and when you do that, you can see on the gauge that boost mode is now activated. So I'm going to take my foot off the brake, and let's see what we get 0 to 60. Oh, that's a big kick first. It's like being on a roller coaster. And that's 60. That was pretty quick. That's quicker than I thought, to be fair.
We completed the 0 to 60 in 5.33 seconds. That's not too bad considering how heavy this vehicle is.
So how does the Audi e-tron handle? Well, I can tell you the handling is great. For a heavy car coming in at 2,490 kilograms and with a driver in it over 2.5 tons even, it's a big weighty car and you can't help but feel that roll. But the air suspension does help level it out, but it handles great and it's good fun. To put into context just how good the e-tron 55's handling is, it went up against a Tesla Model X Performance on the North Carolina Automotive Research track. Now, the Tesla Model X Performance has 700 brake horsepower. The e-tron 55 has 402 brake horsepower. The Tesla Model X Performance went round in 1 minute 51 and 78 tenths. And the Audi e-tron 55 went round in 1 minute and 52. That is the difference of a couple of tenths. Unbelievable, all down to its handling capabilities. So let's talk about some of the competitors out there in the electric SUV category. So we've got the e-tron starting at 71k, we've got the Mercedes-Benz EQC, that's 65k, so that's a £5,000 saving already, but you do sacrifice some of that practicality and space. Then we've got the Jaguar I-Pace, again, a 65k, £5,000 saving if you choose that. You've got the Kia e-Niro, it's a little bit cheaper. You also have, the VW ID4 that's coming out, that's interesting. The Ford Mark E, which has got better performance, around 40k. I like the look of that. But what do you think? What would you choose over an e-tron in this category? Let me know in the comments below. So let's think about SUVs. Why are they good? Well, there's so much space. They're used for going away on long journeys, on trips, aren't they? You fill up the boot with all the kids' stuff and the canoe and the kayak and all your luggages and bags and whatnot. But in an electric vehicle SUV, it's a little bit different. It's not a case of seeing, 600 miles, we'll just drive there and we'll just have one stop. You have to factor in the range and stopping at certain points, finding chargers and finding big chargers. And when I say big chargers, I mean more than 7 kilowatts, because if you are going to be stopping at a 7 kilowatt charger, you're only adding about 17 miles per hour to the battery. So you're going to be having to find chargers at least 40 kilowatts and more, 50 kilowatts and more, to get that range. So it's just something you have to think about for those longer journeys. So with this Audi e-tron, this has got the Tour Pack, which is £1,950. And the coolest thing about that is the adaptive cruise control. This thing it's up there with one of my favorite things about the e-tron and what I've been having a little play with this week. Let me talk to you about the adaptive cruise control. So you've got your cruise control lever here. You can set your miles per hour by flicking up and down your limit. You can also set the distance, how far you want this e-tron to be from the car in front by using this little toggle up and down. And then by just clicking set on the end of the stalk and then clicking the cruise control forwards, it turns on and literally speeds up and slows down. It uses the sat nav, it uses the sensors and cameras around the car to keep the e-tron away from the distance that you've set from that car in front. And it is amazing. It's so good, because the other day I was driving, there was a car in front of me and it slowed up at a roundabout and the e-tron slowed down. It slowed down using all the sensors, and it's incredible. It will not go over that limit that you have set it. So in theory, you could drive this e-tron never having to press the brake or the accelerator. That is absolutely mind-blowing. Another thing I want to talk about is the comfort and sound pack. That's £1,895 as an option, and what you get is B&O sound system, keyless entry on the car, and 360-degree cameras, which are extremely fancy and very handy as well. And how that works is it stitches two visuals together. You've got these really wide angle lenses on the side of the car, and they span over each side, and then they stitch that visual together, and you get 360 degrees all around the car, and you can use your fingers to zoom in like you're on an iPhone, zoom out, move with your finger all around the car, and the car itself is like a simulation. I noticed that because the wheels are different from the 15-spoke wheels I have on this, but the comfort and sound pack is definitely an option worth getting if you want that 360-degree camera, because it is cool. The thing I was impressed with the e-tron is the space in the back seats. So let's jump back there now and have a chat. So I've jumped into the rear because I really want to show you just how much space this e-tron has to offer. Look at my knees. Look how much space there is. And look at my headroom, oodles of space. And this, the 4-zone deluxe air conditioning unit here. That's an option of £825. And this as well, if you are an avid skier and you are professional like me. That was a bit weird. This is cool. Cup holders, who cares? And then this bit, you can put your skis through there. That's a cool little feature. There's so much space in the back of this e-tron. I've had this a week, and you know what? I found myself just hopping in the back of these seats and just having a little bit of me time. Another cool thing about this Audi e-tron is its regenerative braking capabilities. It can be done in two ways. When the car's coasting, automatically harvesting the energy back using the motor to slow down, and the other way is braking. So there is a setting in the settings where you can have automatic or manual. I like to keep it at automatic and then use the paddles, the -1, to press every now and again to turn on that regenerative braking. So if I'm doing it now and I just tap it, the car slows down and I see the needle go into the charge meter at the bottom, harvest that energy back into the battery. So there's a couple of settings you can play with by tapping the paddles down and up, and obviously if it's manual you can do it yourself, but I keep it automatic and the car does it for me. And then when I want to override it, I just tap the paddle down and harvest some more energy. And I find it really useful when I'm coming up to a corner and I want to click that and brake at the same time, maximizing my braking power but also harvesting the energy. And Audi say you can harvest up to 30% back into the battery. The only thing is, I would love a display to show me how many miles I'm harvesting back, because I know it works because I can feel it, but I want to be able to see how efficient it is working. So I want some sort of visual display on the virtual cockpit to show me, oh, you've just saved this much, or you've just added this many miles. So Oliver's design tip, I think it's a good one. Just a little visual display there, Audi, to show me how efficient that regenerative braking is. So that has been the Audi e-tron 55 Quattro, and to be honest, when it arrived on my doorstep, I was a little bit bleh. I wasn't very excited. I saw the grille and I thought, what even is that? And other little niggly bits as well, like the colour floret silver and this high gloss pack, and the windows don't even go down the whole way. But like a good relationship, my love for the car blossomed. The space is incredible. The ride is so comfortable, and for that reason, I am going to give it the status of the ultimate family all-electric SUV vehicle you can buy right now. I'm sure you're going to let me know in the comments what you think. As always, throw me a like, get subbed, and I'll see you on the next one.